For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Psalm chapter 83, verse 2 to verse 5. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and others of great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so brother Aharon coming back at you with a quick lesson, low willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and this is just a quick Motb update. All right, from time to time, all right, we always go into the biometric update. Okay, and that's pretty much what we pretty much looking forward to, right? For this this beast system to officially go mandatory, where every man, woman, and child will be required to take the Motb in their hand or in their forehead in order for them to function in society. Okay, and we're looking around the world. We're seeing all these different countries setting up the platform, all right, to officially come down, all right, with that new way of living, the new standard of living, so to speak. Okay, and today we're focusing on Russia and Japan. All right, so it says biometric payments gaining popularity across Russia, Japan. Now, we see these things going around, all right, and yeah, it might not be happening in America right now per se, but the things that we're seeing in different countries like China and Sweden and the UK and Canada eventually, and all these different countries, all right, Switzerland and all of them, right? Major European countries tend to set a trend, okay? And everything that they're doing in terms of technology wise, right? AI and so on and so forth. That's what you're going to see here in America, but America is trying to push it to a whole nother level, okay? Trump passing this whole Genesis thing that he did, right? Is basically it's like a complex conversion of all these different AI agencies all coming together to form one government, okay? A big brother government, if you will, like we always talk about, okay? And they're going to demand that everybody submit, all right, to this new system via having some type of ID known as a radio frequency identification, CHIP. Okay, this is what this is leading to. So when you see these other countries doing it, don't think that it's just them doing it and that's it. No, they're all interconnected. Okay, all the leaders who are on the same page, okay, they're all interconnected. They go to the same meetings, all right, and they understand the same agenda. Okay, they're just doing it in a different way because you got different countries, you got different languages, different ways of doing things, right? Different economies. But either or, regardless, what they're doing is bringing this new world order, all right, into fruition. And I believe through the spirit, 2026, you're definitely going to see, if they don't bring it out all the way out, you're going to see them really set it up where it's like, all right, this is it. There ain't no, what I'm saying, like digital ID is here. You know what I'm saying? It's all tied into everything. They got this whole ICE situation going on, stopping people, whether you're an immigrant or not, whether you're a citizen or not, you're being stopped. So what that's doing is they stop you and then they check to see, oh, you're not a legal immigrant. All right, you're good to go. So it's already setting a trend and a tone, all right, to let people know that, oh, okay, soon, in a very few months, right, you're going to have some form of identification on you. In case you get stopped, you can prove that you're not illegal. Okay, you have to prove your identity now. All right, and with the way things are going, it's easy for them to come up with some shit and say, oh, there's a guy who got stopped, but he had a false identity, and that's why we need to have digital ID and whatever. Okay, but let's read this. It says facial recognition based payments, all right, payments, that's the key, are becoming a popular method to pay public transit tickets, while biometric payment solutions are also rising in retail. Okay, so it's all around the world. It's everywhere. Okay, the basic ways how people interact with the world around them is being changed into this digital framework, okay, on a daily basis. And all the experts are saying that this is not good. And, you have this AI, advancement, but you don't have any, legitimate, laws that's, set in place to, you know, curtail any type of outlandish use of AI. You don't have that. There is no regulation yet. You see what I'm saying? So they're moving fast, man. They're moving fast. Okay. It says Smile to Pay, a biometric payment method offered by Russia's largest bank, Sberbank, all right, Sberbank, has expanded its network of biometric payment terminals at public transportation systems. All right, now I believe a few months ago, we did a lesson and we are going into how these airports and got all this was it FAA? No, not FAA. Yeah, the FAA, Federal Aviation Agency, I think. And they were mentioning how there are going to be changes, right? Trump was even mentioning that it's going to be state of the art technology and changes that's going to be happening, right, to these airports and such. Now, it's not just airports; it's everywhere. It's all transportation. Any form of public transportation is becoming privatized, and if and when they become not if but when they become privatized, that's when you see all this new technologies taking place. Okay, so the TSA, the whole airport system itself, right? The FTA, the Federal Transportation Agency, I believe there's something like that, right? They're also coming up with new regulations on the roads, right? You got the EPA they're giving basically guidelines on how these car manufacturers should even build their cars to pass emissions tests and so on and so forth. And failure to do so ends with these companies paying billions of dollars in fines. Okay, so a lot of these, it's like everything is being curtailed. All right, which goes into Revelation 13 and 16, which is going into the word poeo, which means to fashion or to construct, right? The causative part. So it's not just a mindset thing; it's an environmental thing. It's a world thing. It's a systematic change. Okay, we always go into the 3 steps. You got the MOTB technology, MOTB mentality, MOTB reality. Okay, the reality is that much closer because the technology is there. The mentality is pretty much there at this point. Okay, and they just need that one big event to make it a reality, and that's it. Okay, and the reality in the sense that it's not optional anymore; it becomes mandatory. All right. So continue. It says on Tuesday, the Yekaterinburg Metro announced it has equipped all of its turnstiles with Smile to Pay terminals, which allow passengers to purchase tickets through facial recognition. So the verbiage is always interesting. Okay, they've equipped all of its turnstiles. So when you get there, you don't have any other option but to do it how the system is doing it. See? So if you go to the bank, you do have money in the bank, but the system requires you to have a CHIP in order to access that money. Yes, it's your money, but we don't know who you are until you can prove your identity. You see? And that's the trick. Okay? And if you can't prove your identity, then I'm sorry. We cannot oblige to you coming in here because we don't know who you are. The system is not picking up who you are. You're not talking to a person behind a glass shield, and then you could barely hear what they say, and you have to no. You're dealing with robots. You're dealing with AI. You see, and they only understand binary numbers and codes and yay and nay. That's it. Red or green. That's it. All right. Pass or accept, pass or reject. You see, that's all they understand. All right. So it says what? It says which allow passengers to purchase tickets through facial recognition. Okay. Really, it should say which requires. It's not an allowing. You're not allowing. You're requiring them to do it that way. Right? It says expansion is also underway, so it doesn't stop there. At the Nizhny Novgorod, Samara, and Novosibirsk. All right, Novosibirsk. Right. These names are quite challenging to pronounce, but we got it. All right, it says the service was launched in late 2024 right? So about a year ago, and now covers 6 cities. The number 6 shows up. Esper Bank says that over 1.2 million rides have been paid with Smile to Pay since the launch. Okay, that's all facial recognition. It's all biometrics. All right, all leading to the forehead part. All right, the Motb part. Okay, so once again, the technology is there, mentality is there, reality is right around the corner. It says the biometric service may soon face a competitor. Alpha Bank has launched a pilot for a new facial recognition payment system, which it's calling Pay with a Glance. Okay, once again, it has to do with monetary transactions. Pay. No man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. Okay. The biometric payment system, no man might buy or sell, is a payment process. The biometric payment system service is designed for offline purchases. Alpha Bank is currently testing it on its own terminals, while access to the service is open to bank employees using Android services, newspapers Gazeta reports. The technology was implemented jointly with the National Payment Card System, which is abbreviated as NSPK. Alpha Bank is planning to cooperate with other market participants to develop the technology. Okay, so once again, it's a all-in-one effort to bring this to fruition. Okay, all the major companies and corporations are working together to make this a reality come 2026. Okay, because 2026 is going to be 6 years removed from 2020. And the number 6 is a very big number to them, man. It's a major number. It's the number of the man. Okay. It says Japanese trains trial facial recognition payments. One of Japan's major passenger railway companies, the East Japan Railway, otherwise abbreviated as JR East or JR East, I'm gonna just say it like that, is also following global trends by testing facial recognition ticketing on one of its Shinkansen lines. JR East plans to pilot the technology between Niigata and Nagaoka stations in central Japan until next March. Okay, so that's how many months from now? We're in what? Pretty much December, January, February, March. 3 months, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, it says about 500 regular commuters are expected to join the test. Biometric cameras have been installed in tunnel-like gates to match the faces of passengers against a pre-registered facial image database. That's a key, because over here in the U.S., when they do the facial recognition for I believe Clearview is one of them. But when you get to the TSA, you try to go through the border and all that, airport security, all that, right? They have this technology there, the biometric technology, and what they tell people is, once we scan your face, it's in our system for a certain amount of days, and then it goes away. But then the thing is, if it goes away, then every time I come in, I have to redo that. But how do I know it's not going away? Is because when I come in there, it just matches what's already in the system. So if it was erased, it shouldn't be matching anything in the system, because it should all be erased. But they lie to people and say, once we take the picture, once it's validated, we take it out the system and it's all good. You're good to go. Well, in that case, then if I come back, I got to redo it every single time I get there. Right? But every time I get there, it's already, like it says right here, biometric cameras have been installed in tunnel-like gates. Okay? Tunnel-like gates. All right? To match the faces of passengers against a pre-registered facial image database. So once you take that picture, regardless of what they tell you, it's already in the database. They're not going to create a system like this just so you could just come in and take a picture. If that's the case, then they just kept the ID system where you could just show your ID and you're good. Right? Okay, we look at the name. All right, cool. All right, this is you. We look at your face. We look at the ID picture. All right, matches. Cool. You're good to go. If that was the case, then they should have kept it like that. But you mean to tell me they're going to spend billions of dollars on this type of infrastructure and this technology just so you could just take a picture one time, pass through security, and then that's it? Nah, they're keeping all that shit, man. Okay? It's a database. All right? And it's not going to just stop there. It's going to go into other things, because all these other things are merged. They're all connected, interconnected. Your medical records, your driving record, all right, your sexual history, all that shit is all in there, man. Your health records, okay, your banking information, everything is all going to be on that one single device, okay, the uni device, right? It says a passenger receives a green light when the face has been correctly matched, and a red light in the case of a mismatch. There you go. In order for that to work, they have to have your information in a database, man. So that way it can match what's on record. So they're not deleting anything. All right. JR East plans to introduce facial recognition based ticketless gates on all of its lines within the next 10 years. You could think maybe 10 months. All right. If that, 10 months. According to Japan's public broadcaster NHK. It says Turkmenistan company presents biometric payment hardware. Okay, this is getting crazy. Hey, it says biometric payments are also becoming popular in other countries. Turkmen Innovasiya, a private company supplying ATMs from GRG, Verifone payment terminals, and PAX payment terminals, has introduced new biometric payment hardware based on facial recognition. Okay, the devices and terminals were showcased at the Turkmenistan 2025 International Exhibition, which showcases the latest technological solutions from the region. The company is known for the National Instant Payment System, which allows citizens to pay utilities and fines. News outlet Take reports. Okay, so you're paying for your utilities and fines. Now, utilities are those are necessities. Okay, utility bills are necessities. So once it's linked, all right, your ID is linked to your bank, and it's all linked to what you owe, and so on and so forth. They can just take the money out. You don't really got to pay. They just take it out, but they want to make it seem like it's a thing where you're the one who's in control of it. It makes it easier for you. And yeah, right. Okay. When nobody asked for this shit. All right. Let's see. These devils, man. Let me get a quick precept here, because we are in those days, man. People be like, oh, yo, the Motb is this and all this. Look, bro. Look. We're not listening to none of that shit. We see everything for what it is, and we see it very clearly. Okay, these devils are not talking nothing about sin or in all its various forms at all. All right, at all. Okay, there's a book of Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. How are they going to do that? It's through AI technology. Okay, everything is all going to be monitored. Everything is all going to be controlled. All right, control, monitor, access. That's it. They have power over all of that. Okay, omnipotent, right? All powerful through AI. And they in their minds, in their monkey ass minds, they really want AI to save them from the doom that's coming. That's really one of the reasons why they want to create AI, and they're moving so fast, in hopes that AI is going to it's going to protect, all right, the interests of its creators. Funny. All right. Verse 4, Ezekiel 28 and verse 4 says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten the riches, and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Right. Same thing with written in James the 5th chapter. Okay. Woe unto you, rich men. All right. You have heaped treasure unto you for the last days. And how did they do it? They did it all by fraud, by deceit. Okay. Verse 5, it says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. Okay. The economy, their trade. Okay. Which is highlighted in Revelation 18. Okay. It says, and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You've been made proud. Okay. So much so that you want to be in the stead of the Most High. Right. Verse 6 says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh himself, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. All right. Ultimately, it's going to end up with America being thermonuclearly destroyed. Okay. And you're going to see it. A lot of people, well, most people are gonna feel it. All right, but Lord willing, we of that elect number, we're gonna be up there watching this place and thanking and praising the Lord for the end of this damn system, man. Okay, and that day is fast approaching. All these things that we're seeing around the world is a sign. All right, is a sign. Major signs that we're that much closer to the end of this system, man. Okay, let's get this last precept and we're gonna close it out. All right, it's the book of Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. All right, so the salvation only comes through the time of turmoil, all right, through the time of great tribulation, as is written, all right, ultimately through the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so if we're expecting to receive that salvation, then we damn well know that, yeah, we at that time where we're going to see all the troubles that is going to require us to get that salvation or that deliverance from these troubles. Okay, ultimately the final trouble being, all right, that noisome and pestilence, all right, known as the thermonuclear destruction. Okay, that fire. All right. But anyway, I'm going to end off there. Lord willing, you edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh, the water, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.
Then after that, you've got this, let's not forget, the CBDCs, central banking digital. They say currencies, I say coupons. And the reason I say coupons is because it's not cash. They can turn it on and off. They can program it so you can only use it for certain things. It functions like a food voucher. So these CBDCs, when the financial system, under the strain it's under right now, when it collapses or we sink into some severe depression, I believe we're either in it or about to go into it, they're going to say that fiat currency, the money, is no longer the way forward, because they've been printing too much of it to keep us in lockdown. They were giving us here in the UK free handouts of cash. Yeah. They call it the furlough system, paying people to stay at home. To afford that, they were just simply printing money. They call it quantitative easing. They've just been printing more money than you can ever imagine. Now, that's unsustainable. Is when or if the financial system collapses. It actually collapsed in 2008. It's on life support right now. And the money printing has only led to it being sort of going further into its grave. When I think this whole thing, this house of cards comes crashing down, they are going to seek to implement CBDC, central banking digital coupons, over all of us that are linked to a digital identity, so that we cannot buy or sell without going through this digital identity. And the way that we currently pay electronically on our phones, instead of going through Visa or MasterCard, we're going to have an account, as they've told us already, by the way, directly with the central bank. Now, for that to work, it has to be tied, of course, to our identities. And they're going to merge all of our records together. So health, criminal, and any other records, financial, insurance, social credit, all of it merged on one system, so that when we buy and sell, they can determine whether, for example, we've met our carbon targets for that day. If I had, for example, I don't know, a beef burger for lunch, I can't buy a steak for dinner because I've used up too many carbon credits for that day. So the coupons, the CBDCs that I'm trying to use to buy the steak simply won't work. Like a voucher, right? They simply won't work. I can only buy certain things. So by the time dinner time comes, their view would be I have to eat bugs because I've had a burger for lunch. Eventually, they could phase out meat altogether.